So the story is, I'm not sure if it's a Jewish story, but they tell it all over the world.
It's not, but
They tell it all over the world. So we can use it as a parable. It's brought down in the Gemara in like different places, like Imri de Anchi. People say, like it doesn't have to be like big sages, but we use that to get to a certain understanding. So the story goes with the person that he got to his 120, he left the world, and he's looking on the trail of his life, and it looks like a person that went on a beach and he leaves the footprints on the sand. And he's speaking to Hashem, and he says, Hashem, like, why is it that, like, through my life, the good parts, I see two sets of steps going on the sand, and in the hard parts of my life, it's only one set of steps. So, like, where were you in those times in my life that I had those difficulties, that I had those struggles? So Hashem is telling him, yes, this is my footsteps that I carried you on my back. Okay, so obviously to make sure that we are on the same page, Hashem doesn't have anybody, there's no footsteps of Hashem in any sand, there's no beach. Okay, it's only a parable. Make sure that we are together. Okay?
It's not even an ocean.
No. After we get that, like that story, the message of the story, which is a nice message that Hashem is giving us all the time. Anyhow, there's only one step of steps if there is something like it, there isn't, but there's only one. Okay, because Hashem is carrying us all the time, also in the good times of our life. Anyhow, my point of saying that story now is to say that when we feel certain things through our life, difficulties, ups, downs, so on and so forth, so the Yetzer Hara, our nature, is to, whenever it's something is good, so, that's me. Very good. I'm strong. I'm successful. I'm this and that. Right? When something doesn't go good, so Hashem, why do you do this to me? Now it's all Hashem, right? That's our nature. That's our default. And the truth of the matter that it should be the other way around, right? When something is successful, something is like we see the blessing, so we say, Hashem, thank you for the blessings, thank you for helping me, and so on and so forth. And when something doesn't go well, so Hashem, I'm sorry. I know that you want to give me blessings, and because I'm messing up, and I'm not doing the right things, so you need to give me those atonements. And thank you, Hashem, for giving me those atonements that I will come to my world to come clean and without carrying those the obligation of those bad things on me. That basically should be the simple approach. Obviously, it's much more complicated than that, but to make it in simple words. So how did we get to all of that? Your question was...
I feel great after my Amidah. I feel like a liar.
The Tachanun. So, like, when you are saying the Tachanun, so what are you saying? What are you asking forgiveness for? Okay? What is the focus on the Tachanun? That's basically the question. So the answer is that what we should ask forgiveness is the points in our life that we thought about ourselves as separated being.
Okay. That gives me a lot to work on.
That's our goal is to have unity with Hashem. To all the time to know that Hashem is with us every moment, and so on and so forth. Every moment in our life that we are not in that dimension of unity with Hashem, that we think about ourselves as separated, so then that's the source of all of the troubles, all of the sorrow, all of the pain, all of the miserability, and so on and so forth. And for this we need to ask for forgiveness. And when someone is doing a sin, what is doing? Is thinking himself that as if Hashem is not with him, right? Obviously, if Hashem would have been with him, he wouldn't do it. Even if his mother would have been with him, he wouldn't do it, right? Father, whatever, like probably Probably most of the people, yeah, or whatever, his wife, I don't know, whatever is the source of whatever is the source of, like, someone that is like watching you, what you're doing. So then you're making sure that everything is fine, right? And that's what Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai told his students before he left the world. They told him, Rabbi, please give us a blessing. So he told them that the fear of heaven will be upon you like you're fearing other people, that they won't see you. And they said, that's it, that's your blessing. He said, I wish that you will get that. And that's talking about like 2,000 years ago. You know, they're like the first generations of the sages. You know, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. So for us, how much more so, right? As much as we are meditating through our day, so the basic like starting point of the meditation is to have the desire for that unity, to have the desire to have that consciousness, elevated consciousness, that we are with Hashem and Hashem is with us and it's all one, right? That's the unity, basically. So the Yetzer Hara is trying to pull us down into the separated dimensions, okay? And what we're trying to achieve with those meditations is to elevate to the dimensions that there's unity. There's another word instead of unity is oneness. Oneness. Is it the same? I want to say something else, but maybe that's the best that we can come up with for now. Anyhow, the Tachanun is to go down to those parts of our being that are still within separation and to find those gems that are there, to pick them up. So what does it mean? So for example, let's say there's a guy that really wants to be with Hashem. He wants to connect to Hashem. He wants to follow the Torah. He wants all of that, all of the above. But he have one thing in his life. Let's give something that is like, very, very simple and powerful, that he likes to eat, like, how they call this pizza that is not kosher, that is with pork. There's a name for it. Pepperoni. He likes pepperoni pizza. Drives him crazy. He can't stand it. Like the moment that he have a possibility to have this pizza, that's it. Forget about it. Like everything goes aside and he goes to that pizza. Yeah? So what does it mean? It means he has a part in his being that is not ready to give up on. He says, Hashem, you can fill up my being, but that space, leave alone.
Leave my pepperoni pizza.
Don't come into that space of my pepperoni pizza. I need that space for myself. Don't come in. The door is closed. Yeah? Obviously, subconsciously.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically what's going on. So Tachanun is to bring the light of Hashem even to those places and to understand like where those desires are coming from. Okay? Why this person have the desire for this pizza, or other person have other desires of whatever it is? Yeah, it doesn't have to be like desires for pleasures. It can be also like desire to kill someone. There is people that's what they are confronting. Somebody sent me an email today that he have like bad thoughts about his uncle, that he, like whatever, he doesn't like the behavior of his uncle, so he have like bad thoughts about him. So something like that is a struggle, Many people, that's by the way the two sides, the desire of pleasures and the desire of like destruction, of like, yeah, that's the two sides of the Yetzer Hara. And we need to know how to bring the light of Hashem, that it will fill our being, that we won't have those empty spaces, vacuums, within our beings, right? So what is the mechanic? To pick up the gem. What is the gem? The gem is the source of the lust. Yeah? Why do you have this lust of pleasures or killing or whatever it is? There's a certain spark of holiness that is captured within that like dark corner within your being. So if you bring the light of Hashem there, that will touch that gem will fly and connect to Hashem, so it won't have any meaning anymore. The pepperoni pizza will lose the taste. It doesn't become to be a challenge. Okay, there is all kinds of things, but it's not for me. I need to serve Hashem. I need to stay connected to Hashem.
Have eggplant, and some mushrooms.
Whatever it is, right? So, closing the mark about the Chanun, that's what you're doing. You're trying to bring the light of Hashem to those spaces within your being, to find that the light will touch those gems, and they will come, connect to the Kedusha, connect to the holiness, connect to your serving of Hashem, to connection of Hashem, and that will solve those issues, and then you won't have any struggles, any miserability, any frustrations, and so on and so forth.
So you don't necessarily have to be sad while saying Takanu.
No. You don't have to be sad. It's not about sadness. But there is a certain yearning to have higher level of connection.
Well, that's a very good kavanah, and now after a month of no Takanu, we can reset.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Adonoy L'olam, amen.